Okay, dark energy, light energy. Okay, so just basic logic. When it comes to ignorance and darkness, or ignorance and knowledge, ignorance represents darkness, blackness. Knowledge represents light. The reason why light is represented by knowledge and darkness is represented by ignorance is because ignorance, when someone doesn't know anything, they're oblivious to what is going on. They're not privy to information that could possibly free them from their situations or circumstances. For instance, if a man knows how to make money, that means he can provide for himself. He can create wealth and stability for himself and his family. If a man doesn't know how to make money and he's ignorant of how to do so, then he may have to suffer the consequences of being in poverty, poor, not able to sustain life for himself or his family, mental degradation, and emotional dilapidation. So then, which is the most important and which is the most relevant? Knowledge. Because knowledge brings victory. It is likened unto the sun in the ethereal heavens of the night. If it wasn't for the sun being in this thing that we call a solar system or universe, there truly would be no way that all the planets and all the other ethereal bodies that live up there in the ethereal world will even recognize and know each other. If it wasn't for the sun, there'll be no knowledge of what's going on around them. There'll be no knowledge of other entities living among them. Everything will be complete ignorance. So just imagine the darkness being an actual presence. And in the presence of this darkness, there's light. The darkness is automatically threatened by the light because the light is going against the very nature of what it is, which is darkness. The darkness recognizes that there is something among me. There's something in my presence that is not like me or of me, and I don't like it. It doesn't feel right. It is going against the very nature of everything that I am, and I don't like it. My whole job and duty is to conquer that light so that I can be the only light, so to speak, that exists. In other words, darkness wants to be the rule of the day. Darkness wants to rule. And when in the presence of light, he feels threatened. So what darkness will attempt to do is extinguish that light and try to put it out by any means necessary. Now, from a spiritual standpoint, or a cosmic, or mysterious, mystical standpoint, the soul is the same way. The souls that are filled with light will always be challenged by the souls that are not. Because the souls that are not are carrying the very nature of the thing that we're living in, which is ethereal darkness. They feel threatened. So what they'll do is they'll try everything in their power to bring that individual down, to dilapidate the soul, make the soul feel less and less than what it is, to make the soul feel weak and feeble and powerless, to make the soul feel ignorant and feeble so that he can bow down to the will of that entity or that spirit. You see, darkness is actually fear. Fear itself. Fear of not understanding something and knowing that this something has found me out. This something that is a light has found me out, figured it out. I mean, you have to think, before light enters a room, it's completely dark. So you just got to think of how that darkness feels when light enters its presence or comes in its presence. It is almost as if a woman is naked under the sheets and someone comes into the room and pulls the sheets from over her she is automatically threatened, like, oh no, you're looking upon my nakedness, you can see me. That's how darkness feels about light. Light can now see everything that's going on in the dark, and the darkness is threatened by that, doesn't like it. So the darkness automatically jumps into defense mode and tries to defend himself by trying to extinguish that light with all that is within the darkness. Distinguish the light, even if it means bringing other presence into the picture. Distinguish that light by all means necessary, because it has found us out. It has found me out. And darkness doesn't like that. So the sons of light will always, always travail or triumph over darkness, because the light can see. The light is with knowledge. The light is with knowledge of everything that is hidden in the dark. The reason why there's darkness is because there's something that is purposed or trying to be hidden. That's the only reason why there's darkness. If there wasn't something that was trying to be hidden or being secreted, then why would there be darkness? So there is something there. There's a mystery there that is trying to be hidden. So if light is shining in dark places, and that means that mystery can be discovered, and that defeats the purpose of darkness. So automatically the darkness is going to defend itself. This is the main cardinal reason why ignorant, evil people are threatened by people of light and with purity and power, because they can see. They can see through the dark spaces, and they can see all the ingredients, all the articles and the propositions and the components that they're trying to hide, all the devices that they think are so well hidden. Someone with light and with knowledge can pierce through those dark places and see all of those things, break them down to nothing, to the anatomy of how they were put together and how they're broken apart. So light will always be the rule of the day. If you can only imagine the greatness and the power of those that are full of light and full of purity, how strong and powerful they will be. The greater the light, the greater the power. The stronger the power. The greater the light, the more fear that is instilled within those darkness. They're afraid of the light because they know that you know. And once they know that you know, they can't hurt you anymore. They can't beguile you. They can't trick you or deceive you, because they know that you know. And that's what they don't want. They don't want you to know them. Because once you figure them out, the spell is gone. They can't enslave you no more. They can't trap you. They can't deceive you. They can't manipulate you. Once they know, you know. And that is a fear that darkness has when it comes to the light. It's being found out about. The darkness will never be able to take over the light, ever. It will never happen. No matter how hard darkness tries, they'll never be able to extinguish that light. Because that light is there for a reason. What is in the dark is purpose to come into the light. That's what makes this whole thing tick. Life and everything that it is what it is, because there was light in the middle of the darkness. And that's what made all of this life live. The sun gives life to this earth because the sun is light. That is why there's life here. Because the sun unveiled the mystery, and then gave the mystery the ability to expose itself for the fulfillment of its own purpose. If it wasn't for the light exposing the mystery, then everything would be dead. There would be no life, there would be no civilization. The light exposed the mission, the mystery. If the mystery wasn't exposed, then none of this would be. The world would be cold. Everything would die and wither away. The sun gives light because the sun is knowledge. The sun then secretes its knowledge and purports his knowledge on everything that it can touch. And that is my job as a light being to impose as much knowledge as I possibly can. And please believe, I am well protected. I am well protected. I have my two guards